black coaches.
Yes, please.
Yo,
Let's talk about this shit here. Let's close the show with something despicable. We've seen the bullshit that's going on with hirings, right? Well, Brian Flores decided he ain't taking it anymore. You know, even though it's been said that he not only may have been running for other jobs, because only half the jobs been filled, right? But I think he knows something. And he knows to the point where he's like sick and tired of this. He's tired of this shit. He's tired of dealing with it. And he's just like, you know, going scorched earth on the NFL. So basically, we all know that he announced his lawsuit against the NFL, the New York Giants, Miami Dolphins, the Denver Broncos, when he has his allegations of racial discrimination and ethical practices when it comes to hiring black coaches, right? Specifically. But there's some more stuff that came out. Like he mentioned, he's calling out names, right? He said during this time with the Dolphins, I think this past year, like the Flores said that Stephen Ross, rather, owner of the Miami Dolphins, explicitly offered them $100,000 for each loss the team suffered in 2019, rather. To the strength of the value of the Dolphins NFL draft pick. Now, if that's true, he has to go. Ross has to go because that's competitive, like, and that stabs right at the league's competitive integrity.
Yes.
He would have to go.
Yes.
He would have to go. And then, you know, when he mentioned about Bill Belichick sent him that text by mistake to Brian Dable, he got the Bryans confused.
Yeah.
He said congratulating him on the Giants. I said, wait a minute, you sure? Because I'm going to interview.
Because I haven't even been there to interview yet.
Right.
Like I'm going.
Then Belichick said that he fucked up. That was his words. He fucked up.
Yeah.
He meant to holler at Dable. So Flores is naming names. So to me, which the obvious is, he knows he's not going to coach the NFL again. He's comfortable with that. It's a shame because I thought he was a good coach.
I agree.
You know, the miracles he worked in his last 2 years in Miami. After this year specifically, starting out 1-7, he lost 7 in a row and won 7 in a row to get the playoff contention.
Finished 8-1.
Mm-hmm.
With that quarterback Tua, who I don't think is the real deal. That's just me. But that's not a hero. That's another podcast. But the point being is that basically Stephen Ross, if you believe, like at the first blush, you would believe that he chose to side with his general manager, Chris Greer, who's also a brother. So essentially, he favored one black guy over another black guy. If at first blush, but if you dig deeper into what Ross has been doing allegedly, and the hiring practices around the league, which we all figured, you know, that they make the Rooney Rule a sham, which is pretty damn unfortunate. Here's the thing. As much as I want to see Flores really fuck up the league, I think it's going to register. On the scale of 1 to 10, I think it's going to register with the owners at stage 2 or 3, because they're billionaires. As much as Roger Goodell, who's been trying to get them to push them into giving black head coaches a chance. And not Brian Dawkins, but his teammate Troy Vincent, who's his Goodell's number 2.
Right-hand man, yeah.
As much as they try to incentivize these motherfuckers to hire black coaches, give them draft picks. Now, draft picks is the real money in the NFL. We all know that. So to offer you an additional 3rd round pick, it could be a second round draft pick on top of a 3rd round draft pick, which again, that's currency, real currency. They're going to do what they want to do. They want to hire someone who looks like them, who talks like them, who rolls like them, who feels like the same way like they do.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is. I mean, how do you explain Joe Judge getting the job after being a special teams coordinator?
Exactly,
how do you explain these other cats? I mean, Dan Campbell. How do you explain Dan Campbell getting a job in Detroit? Yeah. Fighting knees and shit, right? That's what he said in his press conference. How do you explain that? How do you explain Josh McDaniels getting a second try, not that the cheating in Denver, but having the coach hold the bag 2 years ago which I guess is a blessing in disguise for them because they were able to get Frank Reich instead. But still, how does that fool get a second job? How, Sway?
How does a dude like Brian Flores lose his job?
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
Right? How is a dude like Eric Bieniemy not given an opportunity? How is a dude like Byron Leftwich not given an opportunity?
Oh, that's the thing, right? Because a week ago, we were kind of under the impression that he was going to be the hire in Jacksonville. Psych your mind.
Because
No,
Trent
he's
Baalke,
not.
they're not going to get rid of Trent Baalke, which is that stupid ass GM that caused Jim Harbaugh to go back to college.
Yeah.
Out of San Francisco. And you saw that Trent Baalke has a terrible track record as a GM.
Yeah.
But that stupid ass owner in Jacksonville who keeps shooting himself in the foot day after day after day want to hold on to him. So
yeah.
I don't understand in a league that employs 60 to 70% African Americans to do the job, how you can only have one. And that's why today, I always got to wear some sort of something to represent what's going on. Today, I wore my Franklin t-shirt because that's the only black dude in all of Peanut Land, right? This right here is the coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
This is Mike Tomlin.
He's waving
right
too.
Right? Hey, how you doing?
Hi, I'm here.
One of one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are 32 teams. He's one of one. I mean, I haven't broken down the numbers, but we have a Lebanese head coach. I don't think there's a ton of Lebanese players.
Right.
I'm going to go ahead and say probably not. Yeah.
I could be wrong.
Yep. And there's a Latino
there's
coach
not a
too.
ton of Lebanese players. We have one Hispanic coach. There's a few more than Lebanese, but not a ton of Hispanic players. So what you're trying to tell me is we can get one black coach, one Lebanese coach, and one Hispanic coach, and that's all we get. And that's not even 10% of the population. That's not even 10%.
Right.
Oh, I got you one better. XFL in its second iteration, USFL, and the AFL have all had more black head coaches than what the NFL has had in the past couple of seasons.
Yeah. And that's when there was one point, I want to say, I wrote it down, I forgot what it was. Was it 2014 where there were a high of 8 black coaches?
Sounds about right. Yeah.
Was it 28? I forgot. 2014, I forgot what the hell it was. But we've gone from that down to 1. Down to 1. And if you look at coaches who, I'm sorry, I'm gonna throw it right back to you shortly, bro. If you look at coaches that's been recycled, the dude in Dallas, Eric Mangini, Adam Gase.
Let's run that line
on and on. Chip Kelly. I mean, why doesn't like Todd Bowles? He's Belichickian in terms of defense. He was given a crappy situation in New York with the Jets. Why not give him another shot? Why not give Mr. Caldwell, who got fired for going 9-7 in Detroit?
Yeah.
Why not give him another shot?
Right.
But you're going to give Josh McDaniels another shot? You're going to you gave Gates a shot. You gave Mangini another shot. You gave Chip Kelly another shot.
Yeah.
Why not? And also, there's 3 other coaches out there.
You gave, and look here, as much as I love him in Cincinnati for what he's done to this point, you gave a dude in Zach Taylor who had never been a head coach in his life a shot.
A shot, yeah.
Now, obviously the Bengals came off of 16 years of a black coach, and I commend them for, doing what was right in hiring the right candidate and hiring the best candidate, and he just happened to be black. That's fantastic. Yeah. I love it. But the fact that right after that, it was, this dude's never been a head coach. The only time he's been an offensive coordinator was an interim spot in Miami after the head coach got fired for like 5 games. And then he was a terrible offensive coordinator for a year at UC. And the reason why I say that is because I'm a UC fan and I watched those games and they sucked. Mm-hmm. Let's make him a head coach.
Hey,
why didn't we call Todd Bowles? Why didn't we give Eric Bieniemy the shot? Why didn't we?
Exactly.
Yeah. There are people who are far more qualified. And again, I'm not taking away anything from Zach. He has turned out to be a fantastic addition. He has turned the locker room around. He's turned the culture around. All of those wonderful, positive things that he's brought to the city. But if I were a normal business and I was hiring for a CEO position, am I going to take some dude who barely ran a McDonald's, or am I going to take the dude who ran Apple, who ran IBM, who ran Dell, and be like, yeah, come on, we you need to help this. You need to figure this out.
Yeah.
But you know what the bad thing is, though? It's because you have organizations like the LA Rams that did that, right? By hiring a young guy that had no head coaching experience.
Copycat league, yeah.
Copycat league, right? And was McVay hired after Cliff Kingsbury or before?
I want to say before, but I don't know that for sure.
Yeah. Okay, because at least Cliff has collegiate experience, right? But he's still a younger guy. Same thing with Kyle Shanahan. At least Kyle Shanahan is coming from his daddy tree and been coaching under his daddy, but he's still one of those younger coaches. And then you had that whole crop of young coaches in the NFC West, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, this is working," not thinking that they also have wonderful players out there. Those teams too.
Byron Leftwich, young, offensive mind, played the position and played it well.
Yes. Played it well, yes.
Help Tom Brady. Look here, I don't give a damn what you say about Brady. Brady had 2 of his best years. One of which included winning a Super Bowl in a brand new system, and then followed by one of his best statistical years of his entire career.
Yeah.
But the offensive coordinator, who just happens to be black, can't get a shot.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, and that's what I'm saying. They followed that pattern, and it was like, okay, let's go ahead and give these other young head coaches an opportunity. But oddly enough, it's not the young head coaches of assistant head coaches of color. But yeah, you started running out a list of guys. Let's talk about some of these other vets that probably aren't even in the league anymore, that haven't gotten the due that they should have. Leslie Frazier.
Yeah.
Vance Joseph.
Yeah.
Marvin Lewis, Raheem Morris, Pep Hamilton, Winston
Moss.
Especially
Pep Hamilton. Yeah, Pep Hamilton.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Especially Pep. Yo, my God.
His offenses were dope.
When the Washington job came up, when Jay Gruden was hired, who also didn't necessarily have a lot of experience himself, before he was hired, I legit asked a beat writer in the area that covers the team, hey, what about Pep Hamilton as a head coach here, right? Oh, he doesn't have enough coaching experience. But then they hired Jay Gruden.
Wow. You know what's,
right?
You know what's really, really more messed up, guys?
What's that?
We haven't mentioned it yet, but we know about it. David Culley was hired. To run the Texans. Everyone and mama looked at that squad from the talent perspective and thought had 0-17 written all over. The fact that he got that squad to 4 wins, and even in most of the losses had them competing.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a miracle unto itself. But you know what? We decided to go another direction. Even after the general manager himself said that he was appreciative of giving him the right direction, we're gonna go somewhere else. So
that's the other piece of the black coach conundrum. Yeah. 1, we don't get enough opportunities to show what we can do. But 2, when we do get an opportunity, the lease is ridiculously short.
Right.
I mean, I know that Mike Brown is historically a very patient man, but Zach Taylor went for 2 wins his first year and 4 wins his second year.
Right.
Cully got 4 wins in his first year with no Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Right?
Right. That part.
So Taylor was 6-25-1 and got a third season. My man, without a starting quarterback, got 4 wins out of a team and can't get a second year.
Yeah.
He only had a 2-year deal. And he couldn't even finish out his deal. Are you kidding me?
It's bullshit. It's straight bullshit, guys.
Yo.
I mean, it is what it is, but it's straight bullshit. I mean, we know this, right?
Yeah. 1 head coach, 3 black GMs, and the amount of black GMs that have lost jobs in recent years have just been laughable. I can most definitely tell you, well, God, and then there have been situations in which black executives who were already kind of in GM roles never received the titles.
Right.
And then they would just eventually just hire someone else to take over the duties that they had already been doing. As much as I enjoy this league, I am also angered by a lot of its hiring practices as well.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I mean,
it is what it is. I mean,
it's a microcosm of America, right? I mean,
it is, right?
Look, as much as I love this country and some of the wonderful things that it does, man, we still got a long way to go, bro.
Look, it was like we came a long way, but we still got a long way to go on top of that.
Long way to go.
You know what I'm saying?
Came a long way only to regress. That
Yes.
makes it that much more entertaining. Well,
Yes.
I use entertaining in a sarcastic way. But yeah, I'm like, dude, we got to almost 10 head coaches. Now we're back to 1.
Yeah.
And these young guys that you're hiring to replace these black head coaches, guess what? They trash. They trash. And you're replacing these dudes at a high clip too.
Right.
So yeah, I just find this whole thing laughable that this happens.
Remember they remember in Detroit when they replaced Jim Caldwell with old boy from New England with the pistol in his ear.
Matt Patricia, he
Patricia
won as many games in his entire coaching career, or maybe he just barely eclipsed that number, which was about maybe like 9 or 10, as many wins as Jim Caldwell had in his last season.
Because Detroit Lions are better than 9-7. We're not a 9-17. You're right, you're not. You're
Y'all gotta be kidding me.
That is a factual statement, sir.
You're not a 9-17, all right. You're right.
Yes, you're 3-13, Bama.
Right.
I swear.
Man, just like to quote the great Adam Shine. We all know who Adam Shine is, right? The great Adam Shine, he said, Detroit Lions still rebuilding since 1957.
You know what? I'll help him out. Still rebuilding since 1991. That was the last time they were in an NFC Championship game with Barry Sanders. Ever since Barry lost, left. Yeah, ever since Barry left, they've been looking to retool that team kind of for like the past 30 years now, and it just ain't working.
It ain't working. But anyway, that's why America's trying to get the hell out of there. That's why Matthew Stafford think the football gods that he got that they traded the hell out of there. So,
yeah, but
Jared Goff,
but before we
tag it,
tag your Jared Goff, I swear, he might be out of there soon too.
Right.
But the thing is with the whole Flores situation, of course, it's a class action lawsuit, right?
Right. Correct.
Which means he's going to have to get other people to come along with him in this lawsuit. And there were some people kind of scoffing at this concept, like, okay, who else is going to commit career suicide by joining him?
Right.
Hell, I can name a bunch of Bammers whose career are technically dead that would not be afraid to join him. And I just already named a bunch. Hugh Jackson already is one.
Marvin Lewis.
Marvin Lewis is another, but Hugh Jackson most definitely has already come out and said that the Browns paid him to lose games. So you already know he's on deck. He's living it up comfortably in Grambling, Louisiana. I don't know how you do that, but I'm just saying that he is. I mean, yes, that's a slight at Grambling. Take that with you, lying nigga. But yes.
The word of the day is Teddy. But go ahead.
Yes. But yes, he's living it up in Grambling right now. And he knows he's not, because he's already tried and he's haven't given another opportunity to become a head coach in the league when he could have. Yep. So he's living up in the college ranks and should have. but he's living up on the collegiate ranks. And he's like, yo, why not, right? Why not me? You know? So, and there's a bunch of other guys. Marvin Lewis is another one. Pep Hamilton could be one. Dude, we just ran in a list of about potentially 5 guys already that could easily join this suit without even talking about Tony Dungy and what he might be angry about. So yeah, it's league. I hope y'all got enough money to go ahead and make sure that Flores is comfortable for the rest of his days, because we already know he's not going to get a head coaching job anywhere, but he's going to be living off of somebody's NFL salary for a while.
He could be the next head coach taking over in the HBCU.
There you go,
boy. Let's go. Come on.
The SWAC would love it.
Come on. There you go.
The SWAC would love it. My God.
And they already said on some SWAC groups on Facebook that they a lot of them said, we would love to have him. We would love to have Brian Flores.
They would, you know.
If he wants
exactly, right? But you know, it is what it is. I'm just hoping the best for this situation. I want to applaud Flores for his bravery to do this.
Yeah. Yes.
Like he said, you know, it's not necessarily for me, but it's for those behind me, like the Eric B. enemies. Yep. And God, there's a whole list of other young black head coaches. There was a guy with Pittsburgh. I can't remember what his name is off the top of my head. That's been on Pittsburgh staff for a minute. That has been overlooked. But his where is it? God, I just seen it. Terrell Austin.
Yes, running backs coach. Yes,
Terrell Austin. Coach, Marcus Brady, the offensive coordinator with the Indianapolis Colts. Jerry Gray, the defensive backs coach with the Green Bay Packers.
D'Amico Ryans.
Tucker.
D'Amico Ryans.
D'Amico Ryans is another guy's name who's been tossed out there recently too. Right. So yes, this could most definitely benefit them if it goes in their favor, so that, you know, this Rooney Rule, as great as it sounds in theory, I just knew that it was going to be laughable. So that all you do is just have this grouping of black head coaches that just constantly make the rounds, only for them not to get a job.
Right.
There you go. Well said, fellas. Well